All right, guys, a couple highlights from the chat room today on Friday. I didn't do much today, nicely green, but I thought it was important to make a video just because, for one, I want to talk about the overall market, and two, I've got another example of one of those shapes up into resistance that gave a great short setup. Now, going forward, we're certainly going to have our short caps on, okay? Look at this candle on the SPY. And I've been talking about this for a couple weeks now, ever since Plug and Ballard Power got killed. And I tell our members this all the time. The lower price stocks that I've really been doing pretty well with the last couple months, and a lot of my members have been peeved at me because I've been playing lower price stocks. Man, the percentage gains in them are amazing. However, okay, those are the first ones to stop working. To me, that's the best tell of the beginning of the end of the party, is when those lower price stocks, like Plug and Ballard Power and some of the others, literally just give you the same long triggers on an intraday basis that they used to, and go up maybe 2 or 3 pennies and then lose it. They are very much a canary in the coal mine, if you will. And they have the last few weeks literally pretty much overall completely stopped working. So that's been the tell for me. And then also just look at the SPY, and that's not even counting reading things about all-time high margin debt, things like that. But look at the higher volume days. They're all red. Okay, you had a few big volume days right here that were green, but overall, going back over the past couple months, the big volume days are pretty much all red. Look at the Qs today. That's a massive candle, and look at that volume. Let's go way, way back. You won't see a volume spike that big. So, and the SPY, again, big volume today. Notice on this climb from down here all the way up to new highs, which I was surprised that happened, but look at the volume. I don't really know for sure, but what it feels like to me, okay, as it climbed to all-time highs, look at that volume. What it feels like to me is the big boys who are trying to, trying to liquidate a lot of their stocks, or trim their holdings, maybe set aside for a few days, let the retail investor grind it back up, and then dump into it again, because they've got to have higher prices to make some decent profit. So that's kind of what it feels like to me. They're letting it grind higher on lower volume, and then they're hitting it, okay? I would definitely be leaning short going forward. Now, it doesn't matter. I'm not suggesting that this was definitely the top. We'll never see 190 on the SPY in our lifetimes again. I don't know any of that. And you know what? I'm not even known for predicting the overall market. I don't like doing that. I'm in cash every night, so I don't much care. I mean, the macro picture matters, but I don't base my intraday trades on where I think the SPY is going to be in 2 months, okay? Everything I do is intraday, but it's based off of kind of the larger picture, if you will. So anyway, you're going to see on our results page a lot more shorts going forward, all right? And I'm really going to kind of stay away from the low price ones altogether, which should make some of my members happy because some of them just hate those low price stocks. But all right, having said all that, BTU, just like we've been talking about lately, shape into resistance, okay? When I say shape, intraday. This thing gapped up and then was running up into the 200-day, and you had resistance there too. You had this little base from early March, late February, right? And so you gapped up, and then on an intraday basis, right here, you can see that shape change we talk about, okay? This was extremely strong. Right about here, you get that shape change where, see the length of this candle? I didn't do a very good job drawing that, but see all these candles grinding higher, then you get this longer candle. That's subtle shape change. If I use 2-minute candles, you'll be able to see it better. There you go. I switched to 2-minute candles just so you can see it better. But when you learn to look for these, you can see it on 5s. You don't have to switch. Loosely connect the bottoms of the candles, and then you can see the shape change there. And really nice volume. Okay, couple that intraday shape with the 200-day and the resistance, and it becomes a pretty simple trade. Back to 5s here. I just called it short under this little doji candle right here. 1743 with a 1750 stop. That was the high of the day. Now, this didn't fall apart like the rest of the market, so you could easily look at BTU and say it had relative strength, but still a pretty easy short. Really mad at myself. I had AMCX. If you watched the video last night, the watch list video, I had this as one of my short watches for today. And this is what it looked like last night when I made the watch list video. You kind of had a trend line there. It was already up 5 days in a row. You had a bit of a topping tail, but I also said I didn't like to short something related to or something that a channel that runs Walking Dead, because I love that show. Having said that, let me show you the beautiful setup this gave today, and I'll talk a little bit more about that. All right, 15-minute candles. Let me zoom in, and here's your opening candle right here for today. Okay, this was the opening candle. So you're straight down for 15 minutes, and then you get a really pretty 15-minute candle bear flag, right? So how do you play that? Just go short the very first break of a previous 15-minute candle's low, which would be right there. There's your short, and your stop goes above the most recent high. And look at that. Of course, the market helped, but now I didn't get this, but that is only because I need to, as soon as I'm done making this video, I'm going to jump on Amazon.com and order a head from butt remover, because my old one's broke. And as soon as I get one, maybe early next week, I have a Prime membership, so I should get it by Monday. I can use it, pull my head out of my butt, and then hopefully I won't miss the next one. Had this on a chart too, and was just looking at other things. But that is a crystal clear little bear flag after that open. So not just on an intraday basis, but again, because of the daily chart, really good short setup. So when you have a stock that you like on the daily chart, setting up for a potential reversal short, and then you get an intraday little bear flag like that, man, that's just money. So I'm really peeved at myself for missing that. But anyway, nice green day. Don't have much else to show you from the day. Most of the afternoon, I didn't do anything, and I was just kind of anxious to end my week nicely green and kind of gather my thoughts and look for some. Now it's going to be tough to find short setups for Monday because everything is going to look the same going into Monday. But on an intraday basis, and that's where the chat room excels, we will be looking for short setups on an intraday basis, not just Monday, but going forward. And shorts, when they do work, tend to work a lot better than longs. They work more quickly, and which is nice because you get immediate feedback. So fear does seem to be stronger than greed. All right, anyway, I'm going to quit babbling, and we'll see you guys on Monday. Have a good weekend.